Hi everyone, welcome back to the ScrapbookPal YouTube channel. I'm Cassie Trask. Today we're going to be playing with some of the Spellbinders products. These are from the Little Smiles Collection, and this die set that you see here is called Swinging Among the Stars. It's really sweet. We're going to kind of go off the front of that packaging, but we're going to do it differently. We're also going to be using this BetterPress plate and die set called Little Smiles Sentiments. They're so sweet, and I love the font on them too. And then I decided to bring in the Spellbinders 3D embossing folder called Wishing Stars. So it is 3D, and we're going to go ahead and get started with that. So I have a piece of cardstock. This is blue cardstock that I've cut down to 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches, and I'm just going to run that through my die cutting machine following the instructions for a 3D embossing folder. And check out the dimension that that embossing folder gives you. All right, now we need to do all of our die cutting, and you could die cut this out of colored cardstock if you wanted to, or you could cut it all out of white cardstock and then color it exactly how you want it, which is what we're going to do today. So I've pulled all those pieces out. We've die cut them out of some white Express-It cardstock, and then I am going to just use some Post-it tape on the back of what I've already die cut out, because we're going to put all those pieces right back into place. It's just a simple way to color up those pieces without having to be too incredibly careful. And so now that that Post-it tape is on the back there, I can put all the pieces right back in where I die cut them out of. The only ones I'm not putting in there are the clouds. And as you can see, I have my Copic markers. We're going to put those up on the screen for you. We've got E31 and E55, and we're going to start with those using coloring up that basket. So I'm not going real crazy with the like how far apart those colors are. E55 and E31 are actually fairly close to each other, believe it or not. And so it's not a crazy contrast there. It's fairly subtle. Then we'll bring in our Copic 100, which is just a black, and that's going to be for our background. Like those are the layering pieces. This is the one that goes on the back. We'll color our star, the back of our basket. We're also going to color a couple of those plates, because those are going to, not plates, but pieces, because those actually go behind the eyes of our little die cuts. Now I'll bring in some greens. I've got the YG63, YG67, and YG99. And I start out by doing the YG63, but then I decide to completely cover that up. I think it just wasn't dark enough for what I wanted, even though I went ahead and colored all those pieces that color. We're going to bring in that YG67 and basically just go over the top of what we've already colored. I don't know that it adds a whole lot to it other than just, making it a little bit darker. And then that YG99 that I bring in is going to be where the contrast comes in. So I'll just add a little shadowing and shading only on the hat for this one, because the string for the balloon, that's just a little too small. And then we can blend that out if we need to. But we'll stop there with the greens. After I've blended that out, and then we can move on to our next color, which are some yellows. We've got the YR14 and the Y35. We'll start with the Y35, and we'll color up that whole star with it. And that's really all we need the yellow for. And so then I'll take, well, the stars as well, the smaller stars, totally forgot about those. And then we'll bring in that YR14 for our contrast color, a little bit darker. And I'm just putting it down where I think it's going to look good. Kind of looks a little funky as I start out with it, but as I blend it out and when I pull it out, you'll really see that it looks good. Because it's, when you look at coloring on the cardstock, the way that I'm doing it, just going beyond the lines, not even caring, it looks so messy. And you're probably thinking, if you've never done this before, you're probably thinking, this looks terrible. But I promise you, it will look good. We're going to pull those pieces out when we get to put them together, and they're going to look so nice together. So I'll do a little bit of shadowing and shading on those smaller stars. You don't need to do a whole lot because they're very small, and you're probably not going to see a whole lot of that. But I'll blend that out a little bit as well. And then we'll bring in some reds. These are for the pinks. We've got R35 and R43. Those are going to be for the ears and for the cheeks. And those cheeks go on the star. And we also have that long piece that goes behind for the cheeks on our elephant. And then I'll bring in that R35 just for a little bit of contrast, and we can blend that out as well. Next up would be our grays. We're going to use toner grays. We've got T3 and T5. And so I'll start with our T3 and just color up all the pieces of our elephant. And then we'll bring in our T5 for our contrast. And on some of my Copic original markers, I have changed out the chisel nib for a brush nib. So some of those are like that. Not all of them, but some of them. And this one is one of those. And then we'll do a little bit more contrast on his body and on his arm. And again, it looks terrible just looking at it like this, but once those pieces start coming together, you're really going to like it. All right, so now we can do that. We're going to peel out our star, poke out the pieces that we need to be poked out, and then we can bring out the black piece and we'll layer that up. And look at how cute that's going to be. Absolutely darling. It's almost like the no-line coloring, but you're doing it on a die cut. And then we'll layer up those pieces using some Barely Art glue. He still needs his little cheeks, so we'll pop those out and put those down for his cheeks. Pardon my head. And then we'll just pop his little cheeks in place. Next up will be his hat. That's that little green hat. And we'll pop that out. And I also have a little white ball that goes on the tip of his hat that I've set aside with the clouds. So we'll put that on there also. And our star is ready. Next up, we'll do our basket. So we'll poke out the holes, or poke out the pieces of the basket so that the black can show through on our die cut piece on the front. And then we can glue this down. I love that Spellbinders thinks of that. So that way you don't have to like just cut out a chunk of black cardstock and hope that it fits back there and trim it down. They've already thought of all that. So we'll layer up our basket. Then we'll go ahead and do our adorable little elephant. So he needs this long piece for his eyes, and then we also need a piece for his cheeks. Again, that's just one of those things that I really like that Spellbinders has thought of. So we just put that right behind that covers up where his eyes would be, and then also the cheek portion. How cute. And then we can put his little head on top of his body and attach him like he's coming out of the basket after we put his little ears on, or his the pink for his ears. I love how using Copics can also give you basically whatever color you'd like for your image as well. Then we'll attach down his arm. And then we can pull out the pieces for the basket. We're not going to assemble everything yet because this is a swinging basket. I think that's so cool. It's interactive. We'll attach this piece to the bottom of the basket. And then we can attach the top part just using little dots of glue. I will go back later and put some glue behind his ears just to make that a little bit more stable. But the last bit we need to do is pop out those little stars, and we'll put the 3 stars at the bottom of the basket. And then we're going to be ready to start putting our whole piece together after we've popped out the rest of the stars. And then we're done with this piece. You can save that Post-it tape for another project if it's still sticky, but you're done with everything else. All right, now we're going to bring in our BetterPress. If you've never used this system, it's such a neat system, and I like that there are stamps, or well, basically plates and die cuts that go together. So this plate is going to give you all of your sentiments, and those sentiments come from that Little Smiles sentiment set. I am using some BetterPress black ink, and I'm just kind of twisting my ink pad over the top of that, just making sure that I have that covered. And then I've gone ahead and I've tacked down a piece of porcelain cotton panel BetterPress paper, and then I ran that through my die cutting machine following the instructions. And there we have our piece. And now I can tack down the matching die that goes over the top of that, and it's going to die cut out all of those sentiments in one. So then you can set this aside. You'll have all these sentiments ready for cards as you go. And I just love that. It takes some of the work out of it. I've picked out the word congratulations and another one for the inside, but we do want this to swing. So I'm bringing in our 3D foam squares, and it's going to be a little too big, so I'm just going to cut it down. But this is going to give it just enough lift off of the paper and keep it kind of hooked in place, so that way our elephant isn't going to fall out from underneath the our star, and it also gives it a little bit of room to move around. Not a lot, but a little bit for sure. And then I'll use those foam squares just behind the star at the top. I'll put a couple pieces down. I will have to move those two on the sides. Those are going to have to go down a little bit further. But how cute. And then I'll add 2 more foam squares to his, what looks like the little star arms, right on the edges, just to make sure that he is adhered down. And then I can peel off that release paper on both our star and on the paper, and then we can adhere him down. And that'll ensure that our little elephant is able to swing back and forth a little bit. So cute. I love those little interactive elements that don't really require a whole lot. So sweet. So yeah, he just kind of moves back and forth a little bit. And then we can start finishing up the rest of our panel. So I'm going to attach down the word congratulations to the front of the basket, just using some more of that liquid glue. And then I can start adhering down our clouds. I'm going to make those go off the side of the paper. I love doing that. It gives you the illusion that there's more going on outside of your little scene that you've just made. And then I'm even going to, I'll trim those down, and I'll use some of the excess pieces that I've trimmed down to add a little bit more to the sides. I'm saving 2 of those clouds. Those are going to go on the inside of our card. I enjoy doing that also because that just, brings the outside into the card. How fun. We've got a lot of clouds. And then we're also going to do those last little stars that we have. We'll tack those down using some more liquid glue and just kind of dispersing them all over that panel. And then we can, once we get all those down, we can bring in our card base, which I'm using the same exact color that I did for our panel. We'll attach this down using some more of that liquid glue. And then we can decorate the inside of our card with not only the sentiment that says delivering tiny fingers, tiny toes, and a bundle of joy. We'll put the clouds behind it on the upper right-hand side of our sentiment and the lower left-hand side of the sentiment. And it just looks fun. It ties everything together, and it makes me so happy. This card is so sweet. I love it. I'm going to be making more because those were so fun to do. So if you like this video, be sure to hit that like button. Definitely consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. And be sure to check out all that ScrapbookPal has going on over on their blog, Facebook page, and Instagram for more crafty inspiration. Thanks for stopping by, and we will see you soon.